With the rise of cryptocurrency to the forefront of the world economy, some huge conspiracies have also cropped up. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have been shrouded in mystery ever since they emerged. Could the Chinese government be involved in Bitcoin? Is it the work of the devil in a bid to take over the world? Stay tuned because we're going to get into some of the wildest conspiracies surrounding cryptocurrency today. Is Bitcoin the project of Uncle Sam? One of the most famous conspiracies about Bitcoin is that the United States National Security Agency created the coin to fund its secret missions. This stemmed from the fact that individuals can use Bitcoin to send money anonymously, meaning no one would be able to trace the source of the money. Now, you may be wondering why the National Security Agency was the target for this conspiracy. This is because Bitcoin has a system known as proof of work, and the NSA created an algorithm called SHA-256 that functions within this proof of work. Although the SHA-256 algorithm is open source, which cryptographers have scrutinized for over 15 years without finding anything suspicious, believers in Uncle Sam's theory claim that NSA could easily create a backdoor in SHA-256 to track all web activity. You can certainly understand why this theory has gained popularity when you consider the story of the Swiss encryption company Crypto AG. Since World War II, the company has been successfully selling encryption devices to over 120 countries' governments, making millions of dollars. The Washington Post, together with the German public broadcaster, discovered that the CIA secretly owned Crypto AG. The company designed the devices that it sold in a way that the CIA could easily decipher any encrypted secrets that other governments sent out. The operation, known first by the codename Thesaurus and later Rubicon, ranks among the most audacious CIA history. The government Bitcoin conspiracy is so prevalent that prominent figures in the space have publicly shared their thoughts on the idea. In 2011, Ethereum's co-founder, Vitalik Buterin, posted an industry forum, Bitcoin Talk, to say he wouldn't be surprised if the National Security Agency had been involved in the cryptocurrency's creation. Buterin clarified his stance following an article last year. In a tweet sent to his hundreds of thousands of followers, the young entrepreneur curiously said, "My opinions have obviously changed a lot since then." Could the Chinese be behind the rise of cryptocurrency? The supporters of this conspiracy theory assume the involvement of the Chinese government in the creation of Bitcoin. The evidence to support the theory is quite contradictory, though. On the other hand, China is the biggest crypto mining country in the world. On the other hand, China intended to ban Bitcoin mining. Also, China is testing digital yen in 4 cities as its new digital currency, which potentially could compete with Bitcoin in the US dollar. So why would anybody believe China created Bitcoin? Firstly, the country has enormous financial resources, political power, and has experienced rapid growth in tech and AI. That it monitors its citizens via face recognition and uses social credits to reward or punish them adds further fuel to this conspiracy. One Redditor has come out to claim that Bitcoin is a byproduct of the Chinese government, saying Bitcoin was created by a bunch of engineers in the Chinese Communist Party. They used a Japanese name to avoid suspicion, and since China produces computer chips for cheap, they can be a world leader in mining and the inventors could be ultra wealthy, all while reducing Chinese dependence on the US dollar. Sometimes the spooky China doomsday talk bleeds over into research. Indeed, last year the world was startled to learn that analysts had determined China had the power, means, and possible intent to destroy Bitcoin entirely. You think these sound crazy? Keep watching to hear some really wild conspiracies about cryptocurrency. Some of them may have you rolling in your seats. Is Bitcoin the devil? Just when you thought the world of cryptocurrency couldn't possibly get any weirder, it turns out some people think Bitcoin is the work of the Antichrist. This conspiracy theory, our personal favorite, states the cryptocurrency is linked to a religious belief based on the Christian book of Revelations, where Bitcoin is considered to be the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast originates from a story in the Bible's New Testament and says earthly beings will need to get a mark on their bodies in order to buy basic necessities. This mark is supposed to be compulsory for everyone, the great, the small, the poor, and the rich. In our opinion, this theory is more humorous than credible. Let's look at some features that make Bitcoin a likely candidate for this tool of the Antichrist. Firstly, it could be the world's currency. It doesn't seem likely that paper money will become the world currency. Paper money is gradually devaluing as the central banks around the world keep printing it, while still being hard to track for the regulators. Digital currency makes more sense. The blockchain blockchain of Bitcoin can easily record and verify all transactions in the publicly verifiable database. Secondly, Bitcoin addresses can be tied to identity as people want security and stability. Throughout history, governments successfully use fear to convince people to accept unpopular policies. The fear of terrorism, epidemics, or invasion opens the door to the increased state surveillance, travel restrictions, or financing of the military power. It won't be surprising to see the enforcement to tie identities to Bitcoin addresses in the name of safety and stability. In this way, everyone's economic life can be controlled via blockchain and presumed criminals eliminated. Another reason these conspiracy theorists have is digital wallet implants. Implantable chips are becoming increasingly popular. Some people install Bitcoin wallets under their skin. While the features of such a wallet are still far from controlling the world population, the trend is clear. More people would want to upgrade their bodies even before it becomes mandatory. Take a look at the biohacking trend, for example. It is not just Bitcoin that fits into this mold, as there are many other digital candidates that could pick up the role of the mark. And with the pushing of compulsory vaccines, track and trace, and other worrying movements like human microchipping, perhaps Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies don't get authority on this one. Could Bitcoin actually be artificial intelligence? Another seemingly popular theory is that Bitcoin is actually the spawn of rogue artificial intelligence, or aliens, using the cryptocurrency's network to take over the world. There have been a number of wild conspiracy theories in the crypto market and even instances of supposed time travelers coming back to issue warnings about the future as it relates to Bitcoin. Equally as mysterious is the creator of Bitcoin themselves, who has been the subject of much speculation and the target of imposters seeking to steal the recognition the real Satoshi Nakamoto deserves. When you combine wild conspiracy theories about time travel with Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin's mysterious pseudo-anonymous founder, the end result is a theory that is so far-fetched that it is impossible to believe. The basis of the theory comes from a specific block that was added to the blockchain with a block hash that features zeros oddly similar to the Genesis block, or the first Bitcoin block ever added to the blockchain. Following the zeros are a series of numbers that they say represents the exceptionally simple theory of everything. The simple theory of everything isn't all that simple and sounds super confusing, but the random strings are supposed to be both meaningful and super rare, and should have taken many years to produce. This lends to the larger conspiracy theory that the only way this could have been done was from the future or from a quantum computer, which is next to impossible. What is the real identity of Satoshi Nakamoto? For years, Bitcoin enthusiasts have been trying to determine the true identity of Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. Some have tried to put an end to the mystery by reporting that Satoshi is really just a 64-year-old Japanese-American named Satoshi Nakamoto. He apparently lives just outside of Los Angeles and has never discussed his Bitcoin involvement with family members. As you might imagine, there are more than a few skeptics. Nakamoto never explicitly acknowledges being the mythical coder, and there is an inherent contradiction in the idea of someone being fiercely protective of his privacy. He refused to communicate via phone while communicating with other early Bitcoin developers who used his real name in email conversation with those same developers. Bitcoin has always been shrouded in mystery, and to this day, not much is known about its origins or the identity of its creator. The uncertainty of Satoshi Nakamoto's identity has spawned a host of conspiracy theories, and a lack of definite proof means some might be possible, while others are obviously outright ridiculous. While those are some of the craziest crypto conspiracies, do you know any other interesting conspiracies? Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think the future of cryptocurrency is? Do you think the government is using it to take over the world? Or is there something sinister hidden that no one's telling us about? Tell us everything down in the comments. We're eager to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching.